I, just about ready to snap any second now because, Wi-Fi. It's not an issue ever with Bondzee, is it? Never. I've already ranted and sworn enough at that shithole business Verizon, or not Verizon, T-Mobile. So we tried to switch to Verizon today. Won't get into the whole details, but it's delayed till tomorrow. So bear with me tonight, folks, please. One more night, I swear. The next fucking show that I do on this network, Bondzee Live and Trippin with YouTube. Let's try that again. Bondzee Live on Trippin with Bondzee on YouTube will be crystal fucking clear. Tried to borrow the neighbors tonight, but it doesn't work either. Good times. Sorry for the shitty pixelation, stuff like that, but at least you can still hear me, right? All right. Got that out of the way. Welcome to Bondzee Live. It's Bondzee Live at Trippin with Bondzee on my YouTube channel. And I told Glassy, I'm fired up. I can't even fucking speak words right now. I'm upset. I'm upset. I'm not angry, though. Okay, yes, I am. I'm fucking pissed. I'm pissed. What else? Welcome, everybody. I figured Gwen is always first and Old Man Wade. We're cutting into Old Man Wade's bedtime right about now. Sorry, buddy. But that's what you got to do. You got to help out the network and play nice with the other shows. Great show. Hope you all caught it. I think I saw fucking everybody on there. Kids on the Escalator podcast. My brain is so rattled right now. Okay, let's do some yoga together. I haven't done this in a while. I'll do 3 deep breaths for time's sake. Okay, in. Do it with me now, folks. Ready? 2 more to go. In. Feel the zen. Hold it. 1 more. Hold it. Hold it. Release. There, it feels so much better. Let me have a puff. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching. Yes, that's marijuana. And I think I probably swore already. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. George Vincent says, you're pixelated in real life. Yeah, but listen, dude, look at me. I'm a hooligan, and I'm more than pixelated. Is anybody else just getting Bondzee's voice in Japanese? No, that's just you, old man. You're so tired. Anyways, it was great being. I was just on the Kids on the Escalator podcast. I was supposed to be on earlier and talk horror movies and stuff, but good old Wi-Fi. I was trying in every different avenue. Tried to buy some upgrade here. We're running off Wi-Fi, campground Wi-Fi right now, which so is 18,000 other people here. Not that many, but a lot. It's busy here. I've lived here, and this shocked me the other day, but lo and behold, I have actually lived here since before July 1st. I got here. Excuse me. So it's been a hot minute. I've been here. Let's do this together, shall we? Count on the hands. July, August, September, and we're almost done October. Fuck Bondzee. And I love it here. I do. I love it here. And I was going to leave today, actually. I was supposed to go to San Diego, but I ordered a new part for the awning, and the biggest awning, the 25-footer. And I talked to the lady, and I said, am I okay to drive this bus without that part until it comes? Like, I might be this place, I might be this place. And she's like, sir, I highly, highly recommend you do not drive that bus without that part, because it's on the back end that broke, and that's where the most of the weight is. And if you drive that bus, it can be very detrimental to your safety, or especially somebody else's on the highway. I said, well, I better not tell you that I drove all the way from Phoenix to Palm Desert, California like that, should I? She's like, sir, you did? I was like, yep. And in betweens and stuff. She's like, you're the luckiest motherfucker I know. She's like, do not drive that bus again, please, until you get that part. So, been here 3.5 months. What's another week? without further ado, a great show. You all know what's on. It happened. It adds time in my lifetime, 1993. Brandon Lee was killed on the set of Crow, and all of a sudden the other day, on the set of Alec Baldwin new movie, The Rust, not Rust. He shot and killed somebody. The director of photography or whatever, DOP or DP. Anyways, here to talk about it tonight. He's a friend of mine. He's a Hollywood actor. Man, oh man, I am on fire tonight, aren't I? Without further ado, and I love the shirt he's wearing. I should have worn my shirt. God damn it, I have the same shirt. We could have been twinsies. How are you, Dylan? Can't hear you. Hello, you. Is your mic on? Can't hear you. Checking 2. You can hear me. I can't hear you. Is it just me, Glassy, or what's going on here? Glassy, can you hear him?
Turn your mic on, Dylan, if you can. Or if it is on, maybe on the icon on the bottom, unmute. Nope.
I don't have a mute, so.
No, Dylan should
Dylan,
on,
maybe
on the link.
Pop in and pop out again. See if that works. We're not picking up your sound at all, bro. We'll get right back to Dylan in a minute. He popped out. He'll pop back in. So anyways, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy what happened on the set of this film. And there's so many variables coming out too. Let's say hi to a few people. The Sheep of Shepherd podcast says Trailer Net is hopping. Yeah, all the old folk, they're sitting there. It's 6:51 here. So the blue hairs have all had dinner, right? So now they're sitting there watching porn before they go to bed. Even the blue hairs watch porn. I know this. How do I know? I don't. I almost sail myself down there. I really don't. I was just trying to be funny, you fucks. Shit, whatever. Welcome everybody to the show. I hope you're having a great night. Listen, we're having a bit of issues here. Let's see if Dylan's back. We got the microphone. Do we have sound now? Check 1, 2. I can't hear my boy Dylan. I don't know what's going on. I can't hear you, buddy. I know now, you can hear. Oh, there we go.
Bondzee, how are you?
How are you, Dylan?
I'm doing real well, but in T-Hop choppy right now. We've got a tornado warning and thunderstorms going on, eh?
Yeah, and it's horrible weather here. Of course, I wanted to have a great conversation, and we still will, and the sound will come through just fine. But unfortunately, I'm going to be a little pixelated, and maybe I know you're, so, well, be safe up there, mister, because I don't know if we have tornado warnings here. I know the wind picked up pretty heavy in the past 45 minutes here or so, and before it got dark, it was some gnarly clouds coming in. So be safe. But listen, welcome to the show.
Great to talk to you, my friend. My buddy in the Prevo, love it. Trippin With Bondzee, one of my favorite things, and one of my favorite people. And how is your little partner, my four-legged friend?
He's doing great. Tucker, where are you? Oh, he's right there. Tucker. He's staring at me. Yeah, buddy, he's doing great. Thanks, sir. Yeah, well, and it's funny, you guys got to meet Tucker. You and I came to Tehachapi, right? That's how you say that?
Absolutely right.
I finally got it right after all this time. I've called it everything in the book, but it's right.
One of my favorite things about you and Trippin With Bondzee was you on that glider ride, dude. That was just stellar.
Yeah, thanks so much. I'm so glad I got to experience that because it was one of the greater rushes I've had in my life. And it was so, I had no idea what to expect going into that. I had no idea I'd be sitting in the front of the plane. I got this cute little hot pilot behind me, right. and it was just, everything about it just was awesome. So I show up there. You don't even pay first. You don't sign anything. No waiver, no nothing. You just, they're like, oh, you're here. Perfect. She's waiting for you. Out you go. I was like, what? Well, at least if I died, I wouldn't have had to pay for dying,
right, Right. It's crazy.
Hey, but I didn't die.
Which is a great thing. But on a more sour note, you were talking earlier about what Alec Baldwin's going through right now. Wow. As an actor myself, and I use the term loosely with some of those folks that you've been talking about. Wow. how do you deal with such a thing? It's crazy.
It's really unbelievable. Talking about Baldwin shooting on the set of Rust, that I believe filmed in New Mexico, if I'm correct.
I believe so. They're on location in New Mexico. Yes.
And so let's back up here. We are having signal issues here, folks. I do apologize. It's stormy as hell here in California right now, and you are about 3 hours away from where I am. So, and
yes.
it's storm whole desert. So, excuse me. Talk about you for a second. You were an accountant who was lived back in of America, Buffalo, New York.
Yep.
And I know it's okay to say that because you're a big Buffalo Bills fan.
Boy from Buffalo,
and
New
it's
York.
all in jokes,
Go Bills, go Sabres.
Yeah, well, Sabres, dude. I don't know if I'd be rooting for them right now or even mentioning.
I'm going to root for them no matter what.
Actually, I
was
guess
there in '74 and ever since.
Yeah, wow, good for you. You had some great teams over the years and some great players.
Oh yeah.
So you pack up everything and hop in an RV. Sounds familiar, and head out west. And you've been here for years now, and you've established yourself as a Hollywood actor. You've been in TV shows, documentaries, movies. You've done voice work. The list goes on, and you're here killing it now. So you do have some clout. You've been on sets with guns and prop guns, real guns, everything, and you've been on set with Alec. So I really appreciate you coming on to talk about this tonight, because it's got to hit home for sure, and it can't be the easiest subjects to talk about, because somebody lost their life. Like it's really sad.
Yeah, and
so
go ahead, Bondzee.
I was just going to ask you, what is the sense? I mean, you've been on you were on NCIS that had guns. There was other shows where you've been around guns on set.
Music videos.
Is it everything? Is there somebody in charge that's like super strict, like you're almost scared of? Because firearms people take firearms extremely seriously. I've carried a firearm for 6 years. I worked for Brinks. I've been around people that are you go to a range, anything like that. It's strict rules. Yep, I can't imagine it being any different on a Hollywood movie set or even a TV show. It doesn't matter. Walk us through the protocol that you're used to and dealt with in the past.
Yeah, it's absolutely strict, if not stricter. And first of all, I really am amazed that this happened. Every set that I've ever been on, every film set, video, music video, television show, you have a prop master or a weapons master who goes through with you a safety check, and they basically show you the props. They show you that they're either empty, have blanks, or if they're alive and have hot rounds in them. Working with those is very difficult, but the prop people are very, very diligent. They make sure you know what's going on, what the camera angles are, what the trajectory of any projectile would be. They check and recheck. And Bondzee, it amazes me. I was on a set of a hip hop music video a year and a half ago, and we had non-fireable weapons. They couldn't even have blanks put in them. But the weapons master had each and every one of those weapons checked and cleared, not only by himself and the assistant director, second assistant director. They walked up to you, and you had to acknowledge that this weapon was unfireable. There was nothing in it. You looked into the breech, you checked it, made sure. And my experience was, especially on this set, we had some younger guys that were a part of this music video, and they were horsing around a little and pointing the weapons at each other. And the weapons master came right over with the prop master and said, "If you do that again, you're off this shoot." And the guys are like, "These are merely toys. They're not real guns." And to be honest with you, he was right. You have to have safety in the utmost sphere when you're on a set like that, when you're anywhere, when you're in a shooting range with live rounds. Absolutely. In this instance, I can't fathom how this happened. And yeah, I know Alec Baldwin. I've met him. I've got my photo with him. We're not friends per se, but I did hang around and smoke some cigars with him many, many years ago. But what is he going through right now, knowing he did this and it was a complete accident, but now he's got to live with it for the rest of his life? And I don't even know how I would react in his situation.
Yeah. One of my questions was, does Alex bounce back from this? Does this movie? I have so many questions for you. Let's talk. So let's talk about that real quick. Like, how does he deal with this? Does he come back? Does this movie happen, or do they can it? Or
first of all, I believe Alec Baldwin is a very strong guy. He's a funny guy, very down to earth, but he's a man's man too. I believe he bounces back. The question is, will this production continue? Well, that's out of his purview. The studios, the producers, and the production company is going to make that decision, and hopefully they'll make the right decision. I don't know what that's going to be at this point. This is a very hot button issue. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about what should happen, what should have happened, and what didn't happen. And I think that's the most important part. There's going to be criminal charges and an investigation on this without a doubt, whether it's the Screen Actors Guild or the local police or even county or federal authorities are going to look into this and see how it happened and why. And hopefully the lesson learned from it will be that it will never happen again, and that they're going to do something to protect all of the people. And I don't just mean the actors or the extras or the ADs, the DPs, the directors, the production folks. Everybody on a set has to know that this set is safe. And especially in the time of COVID right now, everything and everyone has to be safe, has to act safely and do their job. And there's a disconnection here. I'm not going to blame anybody in particular, but somebody made a mistake and somebody died over it. And as you said, it's happened before and it should never happen again. Absolutely. There she is. Breaks my heart.
And it's so sad. Yeah. That's Helena Hutchins, and sadly her life was taken. And so it happened 1993 on the set of The Crow. Brandon Lee dead. With stuff went wrong, and so I am shocked that it has happened. And yes, it's been a long time, and there's been probably hundreds of thousands of guns on movie sets and TV sets since 1993, and that happened.
Absolutely.
But it took that one mistake. Now, there's a lot of blame being thrown around here, Dylan, for this. The assistant director on the movie Rust, who handed the prop gun to Alec before the fatal shooting last week, he was previously fired from a film for screwing up in almost the same way. There was a gun that went off. It shouldn't have went off, and he was immediately fired. Now, he felt awful about it. He made a mistake. He effed up. He had experience, but now twice this guy's involved. Now, not only him, there's another girl, and she's a young girl. She's 24 years old, 8 years experience with guns. Her father started teaching her about guns in 2016, when she was 16. I'm sorry.
Right.
This girl has done one movie before where she was in charge of the guns, like the armorer, they call her. There's a term for her, the armorer, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
She said, she even admitted, I think she was 22, 21 when she did the first one. She was like, I was scared shitless. Even though she had experience, she's scared. Like, A, that's not safe.
Yeah.
B, I don't know how she gets this job again, but she goes and does it, and then this happens. So I understand why the blame's been thrown around, but again, it has to come down to just those two people ultimately, because it's the director's set, full and foremost, correct?
Yeah.
And then there's so many other people involved that should have made sure. Now, oddly enough, that same day they had a walk-off on the set due to unsafe conditions. Camera crew bounced in that morning. Yeah. They get a new camera crew.
Yep.
They break for lunch. Gun sitting there, from what I've understand it, allegedly the gun was left just laying there whilst they're at lunch. So who's to say that Now, and I'm getting into conspiracy theory stuff, but it's not really. I'm just that guy who thinks outside the box sometimes and asks the what ifs. What if somebody, because they're fucking demented or whatever the reason may be, the gun's sitting there. I was like, point, and watch that. That's what I'm going to do. It's almost like an arsonist, Right. Anyways, we will never know the answer, probably, Dylan, but it is fascinating that it has happened again. I bet you I don't forever see it happen a third time. I really don't.
I beg to differ with you, Bondzee. It's going to happen again unless the Screen Actors Guild, the unions, and the folks that are involved in these productions, the production companies and the studios, say, look, we have to have training that is absolutely targeted, and no pun intended, at safety, especially with weapons, and especially on a set like this where you had non-fireable weapons, fireable weapons, and weapons with hot rounds in them. You have to have the utmost training of everybody on the set to understand what this means and what the implications are. And until that happens, we're going to sadly probably see another accident like this again. And as you said, to leave the gun on a table while everybody's at craft services having lunch, excuse me, but the armorer, the AD, the prop master, that should have been locked up, whether it's fireable, it's hot, has a live round or not. It's a weapon. And whether it can be fired or not at the time, it's got to be locked up, put away, marked, and tagged the proper way. And this is just me as a citizen of the United States saying, yeah, look, I'm a Second Amendment fan. I'm a proponent. And the fact of the matter is, whether it's a live gun, a prop gun, fireable, non-fireable, hot, cold, whatever you say, people have to be educated in the proper handling of all of these devices. And I mean across the board, from your grips, your ADs, your DPs, your actors, your background. Everybody has to understand the implications so this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, and what I meant was when I said I don't think it'll happen again, here's why. Because of everything you just said, it's already starting to happen. Shows like did I write it down? I knew I was going to forget. I want to take a screenshot of it, but there's TV shows already taking steps in implementing brand new protocols for this stuff so that it doesn't happen again. And I don't think it's going to take a dummy from now on moving forward, because Alec Baldwin's a pretty big deal. Let's not kid her here.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic comedy guy. He's been in so many things. It's pretty devastating. And somebody lost a life, and Alec Baldwin shot that person.
And you're standing there with the faith and belief that this weapon in your hand is safe, and there cannot be the possibility of somebody losing their life for this production. And it happened. And yes, he's a strong man. I believe he'll bounce back from it, but it's going to haunt you. It's going to haunt him for the rest of his life. This is going to be something that you will point back to and say, wow, this happened. It's something that he's going to live with for the rest of his life. This young person's life was in his hands, and it shouldn't have been in his hands. And that is not his fault. That's somebody else's fault. And at this point, we can't play the blame game. We have to start educating people and showing them we have to be safer on these productions and implement, as you said, the correct protocols for the handling of all of these instruments.
For sure. So, question from our resident hooligan, Wade. Starter pistols used in Olympic Games and so forth are all electric now to avoid such things from happening. Can you see that happening on a movie set, Dylan? Is it possible? Do you get the same effect? You know how everybody wants to be perfect these days and get that perfect shot and make it super realistic.
Great question.
Is that possible?
A great tie-in.
Oh, don't tell him that. He'll be fucked.
Well, I think we're thinking on the right lines, though. In this age of CGI, of graphics, that if you watch any of the Marvel comic universe films, any of that stuff, the things that we can do, the things that we can show, and the explosions, the gunshots, and everything, they can be put in post-production. You can add these things, computer-generated graphics, and I think it's a lot safer. Will it be as real? I don't know. In the MCU, yeah. In a Western, in a drama, a murder mystery, something like that, maybe, maybe not. But there has to be a way and there has to be a dialogue of what can we do in post-production to add that excitement and that level of intrigue and of power and showing how this happens and adding to the story. We have to be able to talk about it, think about it, and look at those ways of making it happen, just like they did in the Olympics. No more pistol in the hand, even though it shot a little, 22 or 38 blank, but something there where we can add in post-production the muzzle flare, the bang, especially with the Dolby and THX and everything. What they can do now is so head and shoulders above. Why are we even using weapons that have capability of killing somebody on a set when we can add so much in post-production? And that's the dialogue I think you're correct in saying we should be having.
Well, and the guy that he's upset. His name's Svetnoy. Anyone who the lovely lady Helena Hutchins in his arm, he was with her when this happened, and fortunately for him, he's alive. Unfortunately for her, not. But he died in her arms, and he's upset. He's really upset, and he's like, people need to be accountable, the responsibility. He says there was negligence, professionalism all over the set, and they were penny pinching. Does that hold an ounce of truth? And more so the penny pinching stuff, because it's Hollywood, dude. It's an Alec Baldwin film. The guy, a world-renowned guy. You're not going to have plugs running this stuff and cheap producers. Are you? Like, does that happen in Hollywood?
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
The money they make and stuff, or everybody's saving a buck here and there?
Does. Well, and you can't blame it all on the production companies. At the studios, when they give you a budget, you've got to stick with it, and you've got to do the best you can. And CGI and post-production costs a lot of money. And yeah, if they want to cheat something and do it cheaper, they will. Because, I mean, what it comes down to is this is entertainment for pay. They want to be able to make the most money they can and come in at or under budget for the production company or for the studio. But, basically what it comes down to is, are we going to be less safe if we don't spend the money and do this in post-production? And that's the dialogue that needs to be had. And yeah, sometimes production companies don't have the resources or funds from a studio or themselves from their investors to do a lot of post-production. So, okay, we're going to do everything live and have a gunfight, a shootout scene, something like that. I think at some point somebody's going to say, all right, well, we have to be able to have a safe set and fund the CGI and computer generated graphics that we can do in post-production to add the extra thrill of guns going off and explosions and all that type of stuff. And I'm all for the old school way of doing it, but it has to be done in a very safe manner for everybody on the set. And I think the gentleman who's upset about this, who was there when it happened and is calling for accountability, is absolutely right in calling for accountability on what happened, why it happened, how it happened, and who's to blame for it. But the lesson we have to take away is we have to have safe sets, S-E-T-S, and we have to have everybody be accountable. And if it comes down to penny pinching, you don't penny pinch and skimp when it comes to the safety of the people on that set. Plain and simple.
Bondzee, unmute your mic.
Yeah, Bondzee, I lost your audio, man.
Sorry, my microphone was muted. Yeah, it is. So what I was saying is, it's. I don't think we'll ever see it again, because
I hope you're right.
Because of that, it's been 30 years almost since it was Bruce Lee's son that died. That was a huge deal, and now we've gone almost 30 years without that happening. Now it's a big deal. and it's going to affect Alec Baldwin, who's not a schlub of an actor. I think he's earned his chops to make this a serious event where producers, production companies, the movie studios, they're going to go the extra mile on this now. So it's sad that it had to happen like this. But I think Helena Hutchins' parents, I think if they're on board and smart about this, they should set up some sort of new Helena Hutchins rule on every set, whether it's TV, movie, video, a music video, it doesn't matter. We've got, like, this poor girl lost her life for no fucking reason.
No, none whatsoever. And and now Alec Baldwin has to live with it for the rest of his life, that he trusted those around him to provide him with the safest possible surroundings and instruments of his craft. And this is what happened. And I'm near tears. I don't know how I would have reacted had I had that gun in my hand. And I've had weapons in my hand in different productions, and I'm so careful. I act like I'm out at the range, and the range master is telling me 2 steps back, gun pointed to the ground or in the air. We've got a hot line here. Okay, clear to the left, clear to the right. You have to have that mindset, and somebody didn't. And that's the person who has to take responsibility for this. I'm not one for throwing blame around, but at this point, you can't blame Alec Baldwin and this beautiful young actress and her budding career. This is something that you are correct in stating. They are going to have to make these sets that safe. And let's look at post-production. Let's look at training, and let's make sure we don't penny pinch on safety.
Yeah. And Wade asked, and it was talked about, he was practicing pulling the gun out of the holster, but because it was all new camera setup and stuff, he was still pointing at the camera and stuff to practice the whole 9 yards, and that's when it went off. So Wade asked, is there rubber dummy practice guns that can be used in practice or rehearsal? I'm sure there's stuff like that around when it's not actually live action. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. The weapons master will hand you what you need at the time you need it. When we're ready to go live and the director's about to say, okay, rolling, pictures up, action. That's the only time when you should have a live weapon in your hand. You should have been advised by 5 different people on which way to point it, how to point it, keep your finger off the trigger until. And a rubber, some kind of non-fireable prop during your rehearsal, because as you know, in just about every film and television show, they're running through these lines, they're hitting their marks, they're making sure, okay, the camera angles are right. Here's where you point that weapon. Here's when you pull the trigger. And that's gone over again. And absolutely, it should be done with I've done it with a banana. Here, we're pointing this way, we're pointing that way. Talk about low budgets. But what you're saying is absolutely true. Those rehearsals should never have a live round or a live weapon included.
Yeah, till it's go time.
Exactly right.
Man, it really is a sad experience for everybody. I mean, it's got to hit hard because you have been on so many sets with guns and stuff, and you're an actor, and it's got to hit everybody. I don't care if you're a behind the scenes actor, a full-fledged Tom Cruise or whatever. Everybody almost is in their acting career has been on set with guns, and thankfully you can look back and say, "Whew, I've done this, and this forever," and so many other people have, and they're alive.
Yeah.
Sadly, poor Helena Hutchins can't say the same thing today.
And now Alec Baldwin has to spend the rest of his life wondering if he didn't look and double check and do his own due diligence. And it's not on him. As far as I'm concerned, it's not on him. There's so many other people, other checks and balances that should have happened.
True.
Didn't.
So will there be charges, you think, come down before I let you go? Ultimately, is there going to be charges, and who's getting charged?
At this point, there will be an investigation. I can guarantee that either the union, the local authorities, the federal authorities, somebody's going to look into this with a real focused lens and say, okay, here's what happened, and step by step, this is what happened, and here's where the disconnect was, and here's why this happened, and now let's work to make sure that this never happens again. Will there be charges, negligence is a thing. And when somebody gets hurt like this, it's called manslaughter. And, involuntary or otherwise, somebody lost their life. And I think the family of Helena Hutchins deserves to know why this happened and who's to blame for it, and to make sure that, as you said, they can set something up where there's a rule where this can never happen again. And that's what the takeaway has to be in this instance. And sadly, I'm hoping that it comes to that. And whether it takes away from the realism on a set for a film, for a television show, for a music video, I don't care.
So
as long as it's safe,
yeah.
Let's do it in post-production. Let's make sure we've got everything down and the training is there. And let's make it as real as we can, as long as it's safe for everybody on that set.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard to pinpoint and charge one person, though. That's the thing. Is it ultimately their armorer's fault, that young 24-year-old girl, or is it the director alongside the assistant director who's already had a gun incident before? Thankfully, nobody was injured or killed. His name, I have it right here, Dave Halls, and he was fired right on the spot. So is he ultimately responsible? As like, I just can't see. Here's what I think happens. Nobody gets charged. It was one of those things, but the family will definitely be able to sue the pants off of the production company, the Hollywood studios. They'll get a lovely paycheck, sadly, and they'll have to walk away with broken hearts still. And that's what's going to happen. But I think ultimately it doesn't. But there will be a new rule set in place moving forward that will prevent this from happening again. And it'll be the Helena Hutchins rule.
Is what you're saying. Where does the buck stop? Is it the armorer? Is it the prop master? Is it the AD? Is it the director? Is it the production company or the studio? Well, time will tell. As I said, there will be an investigation. We'll find out, but it's not going to bring Helena back. And whatever settlement the family gets doesn't bring her back. Alec Baldwin lives with this for the rest of his life. And let's hope we can make something positive come out of this and make a safe set for every production, whether it's a small commercial, independent student film, what have you. It will be called Helena's Rule. And I think it should be imposed. And everybody on the set has to be safe. And whatever happens is going to happen. We'll find out. The only time will tell. But
yeah, you bet. And it's such a tragedy. And I know Alec is a rich man. Hopefully he goes and gets the attention or gets the help that he needs, and through the proper avenues and channels, because he will need it. Hopefully he doesn't try and run away from it and then mask it. Speaking from experience, like I did for so long, he needs to go and seek help right away, and I'm pretty sure he's smart enough to do that.
You understand?
Listen, I can't thank you enough, but I sure do. Sadly. And I know exactly how he feels. I truly do. And I wish I didn't.
You were talking about two shows that had banned guns. It's ABC's The Rookie and Amazon Prime's The Boys.
Yep.
Thank you. That's producer
no
Lassie's on the ball.
Thanks, Lassie.
Yeah, and so it's happening. It's happening.
Let's hope we move forward. It happens for the right reasons, and that that people understand how devastating this is for somebody, not just the family and everybody who was on that set that witnessed this, that was there. My heart goes out to all of them, and let's hope something positive comes out of this.
I hope so too. Listen, Mr. Big congratulations to you. You just got a role on This Is Us coming up, correct?
I can't say anything about that, but season 6 of This Is Us is coming up, and hopefully you'll be able to see my ugly mug there. And we just finished production and release of a short film called Dr. Hubris, which is making the film festival circuit, and it's a wonderful, basically psychological thriller. It's a short, and we're looking to hopefully get a studio to say, hey, let's make that into a feature film, because it's really incredible, the folks that were involved in it. Hey, there's Martin Cove. one of my favorite people from Cobra Kai. By the way, a funny guy. One of the greatest folks you'll ever work with on set, Martin Cove.
That's awesome. So congrats on that show that's coming up, This Is Us, that you're not on or might be on, but you can't say. And if we got anything else in the works?
So far, we got the holidays coming up. So basically Hollywood slows down, even though a year and a half, Hollywood was basically closed. But there are a lot of things in the mix, and I hope to come on your show again and tell you about a lot of great feature films coming up, stuff in the Marvel universe, maybe in the Star Wars universe, maybe. You never know, Bondzee.
Nice.
And you will be the one who will create an exclusive, hopefully very soon.
That's awesome. Well, I look forward to that. And I look forward to, I'm just, as you know, because and you've been a great help. I have to thank you for that. Answering all my questions about trying to get involved. As you know, I just finished all my demo reels, and
it's incredible, by the way. And I'm not blowing any sunshine anywhere up north. You are incredible. I love your work, and I love your podcast. You just do it right. You sound great, and you're so much fun. And I just love being on your show. I love listening to you.
I really appreciate that, and I hope directors and as such, casting directors and everything else in Hollywood feels the same way as you do. And so I appreciate all the kind words. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to join me tonight and talking about a pretty heavy subject that is pretty near and dear to your heart. So it's been a pleasure having you on the show, Dylan, and I really appreciate you taking the time.
Cheers, my friend. Namaste. Go Sabres.
Namaste. You have a great night. And
good
go
night,
him.
eh?
I know.
Cheers.
Yeah. Hoser.
Gordy. Love for Gordy. Cheers, my brother.
Yeah, always. Yeah. Take care, bud. That's Dylan Mattina, folks. Such a wonderful human being. I've met him through tragically a fan site, oddly enough, years and years ago. And my old producer, Lutzi, who I'm estranged from now, apparently, she put me in contact with Dylan and said, "Oh, you have this show, funny dude, great actor. He's in Hollywood, started just a town in Buffalo, and was this LA. I'm gonna make it." Guy was 400 pounds at one time too, by the way. Hand surgery, was dedicated and lost life. So, anyways, love the guy. Such a wonderful fella. Go check him out on all his social media stuff and everything he's been in. The list goes on. I've got a list here. He's been in NCIS, Mad About You, Veronica Mars, Veep, Murder for Hire, ton of documentaries, so many other TV shows. Go check him out, Dylan Mattina. And I appreciate him taking the time to talk about that shooting because a lot of actors, directors, and this and that, they've been hush about it. And listen, I think we need to bring attention to it. It was a shitty, horrible, sad situation. And yeah, there he is. He's been through everything. And I wish I had more time. Actually, I would have kept him on way longer and had a better interview. And I will get him back on soon. I'm sick and tired of bouncing out. The signal's horrible. I love you guys for sticking through it. If you did, God bless you. But I'm going to end the show now because I have had it. My patience is done. Can't thank my boy Dylan Mattina for joining me once again. It's Bondzee Live on Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube and the Dean Blundell Network. Thank you for everybody for joining in, sticking with this bullshit. It's we got Wade, we got the Sheeple Shepherd podcast. Carrie's joined in, and then I got my producer waving frantically in the background like he's having a fucking heart attack.
Before we leave, we have to play Ty's video, man. It came out today. You have to give some love to Ty. Who cares about your shitty Wi-Fi? Right. Go spend the $8. We'll have a GoFundRaiser or GoFundMe account, and we'll roll with it. And you'll have something better for Wednesday.
I don't know what fucking Wi-Fi you're running on, buds, but it ain't.
I'm running fiber, baby.
Yeah. How'd that go for you a week or two ago?
It didn't, because you know what? It was a stupid little coax. Guy. Let's play the video. Fine. Here's Ty Bond. It's called "Come Around."
I'll be in another state, I'll be in another town. You were so lost, girl, now you say that you're bound. Hit me up anytime you come around. Just know that all them games, I don't play those. Just know that all them games, I don't play those. Just know that all them games, I don't play those. Just know that all them games,
makes me want you more. Damn, man, you knew you wasn't one. Damn, I can wait around for long. Time is money, so it's on. 100 million on the clock. Cover up fours on the 30. Making my way like I'm early. They talking shit, I can hear them. Beaming too high, I can see them. Superstar, how I'm feeling. Looking up and you go see me. Turning me deep to the left, I'm the dreamer. See in my eyes what I've been through. Holding it down, what I've been doing. Give me a queen, we gon' get through. Making these millions we dream doing. I'm on my way and I've been new. Some hated the ground, but I stay true. It's TGOD like you been new. Ain't nothing above you, bitch, you.
Lights go off and it all falls down. I'll be in another state, I'll be in another town. You were so lost, girl, now you say that you're down. Hit me up anytime you come around. Just know that all them games, I don't play those. Just know that all them games, I don't play those. Just know that all them games, I don't play those. Just know that all them games, I don't play those.
Yeah. That's my boy. I made that. Can you believe it? Did two things right in this world. Ty and Brad. Love the two of them. They're super talented. Way to go, Ty. Folks, you can go check that out. It's his new single. Go to YouTube. Search Ty Bond. And boom, pow, it's right there. And he's got a lot of cool stuff coming up. He's doing I won't say anything else because I'm not sure if I have permission. I'll shut my mouth. Dad, what the fuck? Can't say that. Sorry, son. No, I saved it. I didn't say anything that I wasn't supposed to. Anyways, that's it. That's all. I'm out of here. I 100% swear to the holy baby Jesus or whatever else you believe in. Out there in this next show will be 100% better with the Wi-Fi and none of this digitally non-bullshit. I love you. You take care. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the. Well, I don't even know what day it is today. Is it? Oh, it's Monday. We're just getting started. Oh boy. Listen, I've been busy. There's no fucking days of the week for me. I work 7 days a week, like 12 hours a day. So leave me alone and stop yelling at me. You're not even my real mom. Wade says Ty's music isn't what I would normally listen to, but he rocks it all. Fucking awesome. Yeah, old man, it's time to broaden the horizons of your musical tastes, if you will. Night, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. It's Bondzee Live, Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube, and that guy, the Dean Blundell Network. Thanks to him for everything. And thanks once again to Dylan Mattina for having that conversation with me about guns. Guns kill people, folks. Got to be, if they're in your possession, unloaded, loaded, doesn't matter. Pay attention. Safety first. You heard it here on Bondzee Live. Peace and love. Have a great night. Ciao. Bondzee Live. Bondzee on YouTube.